Chaos erupted at the Washington Hilton as the White House Correspondents Dinner turned into a scene of pure intensity. UFC CEO Dana White was right in the middle of the storm, describing the moment security teams rushed the stage to protect President Donald Trump from an active shooter. While everyone else scrambled for cover under their tables, Dana White stayed upright to take in every second of the historic, high-stakes moment.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The situation unfolded with terrifying speed as a gunman attempted to breach the venue to reach the President of the United States. Secret Service agents acted with lightning precision, evacuating Donald Trump and his family to safety, while tactical teams swarmed the lobby. Witnesses describe a scene of flipped furniture and shouting officers, marking a shocking and violent turn for one of the most high-profile nights in Washington, D.C. The aftermath of the shooting has left the political world shaken, but Dana White remains unfazed by the encounter. Despite Secret Service agents pointing weapons toward his table and shouting for everyone to get down, the UFC boss insisted the experience was something he had to witness firsthand. It is a reaction that has sparked massive conversation across the country after he openly called the terrifying ordeal cking awesome. As law enforcement confirms the shooter is now in custody, questions remain about how the security perimeter was breached at such a high-security event. President Donald Trump has already vowed that the dinner will be rescheduled within 30 days, proving the show will go on regardless of the threat. For more updates on this developing story and the latest in the world of fight news, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Imagine you are at the most prestigious, buttoned-up event in Washington, D.C., and suddenly, the room erupts into a scene straight out of an action movie. That is exactly what UFC boss Dana White walked into at this year's White House Correspondents Dinner. It was supposed to be a night of pomp and circumstance, marking Donald Trump's first return to the dinner in over a decade. Instead, it turned into total chaos. According to White, the atmosphere shifted instantly. One minute it is dinner, the next, tables are being flipped over and Secret Service agents are swarming the room with weapons drawn. White, never one to shy away from the intensity of a brawl, described the scene with his trademark grit. He told reporters he didn't duck under the table like the rest of the room. Instead, he just sat there and soaked it all in, calling the entire ordeal *cking awesome. Talk about a unique vantage point. He was sitting right at the front, right in the thick of the perimeter security, convinced for a moment that the threat was coming from his own section. While officials are still piecing together the details of what exactly went down outside the Washington Hilton, the president confirmed the individual was apprehended and that the dinner will be rescheduled. It is a sobering reminder that even in the highest halls of power, peace can be shattered in a heartbeat. But for Dana White, it was just another day of adrenaline. What would you have done if you were in his seat? Hit the floor or watch the chaos unfold? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more breakdown coverage. Sometimes, reality is truly stranger than fiction. Imagine the glitz and glamour of the White House Correspondents Dinner suddenly shattering into a nightmare. That is exactly what played out this Friday night at the Washington Hilton when a gunman turned a night of celebration into a high-stakes security crisis. The target, none other than President Donald Trump, who was in attendance alongside UFC CEO Dana White. Chaos erupted in the hotel lobby as gunfire rang out, triggering an immediate and intense response from the Secret Service. Video footage currently circulating online captures the heart-stopping moment. Trump is sitting with his family. The atmosphere shifts in a heartbeat, and security details swarm the stage, tackling the president to safety while guests dive under their dining tables for cover. It is a chilling reminder of the volatility surrounding the 47th president, who has faced similar threats throughout his tenure. While the situation unfolded, all eyes were also on Dana White. As a vocal supporter of the president and a mainstay at major conservative events, White was seated at the Paramount's guidance table, finding himself caught in the middle of a literal war zone. Thankfully, The Secret Service and local law enforcement reacted with incredible speed, neutralizing the threat before any further carnage could occur. Following the evacuation, President Trump took to social media, commending the bravery of his security detail and maintaining a defiant stance. He noted that while the evening was far from the original plan, his instinct was to press forward, leaving the final call to the experts. It is a testament to the ironclad protections surrounding the commander-in-chief, yet it leaves the country asking, how much longer can this level of political tension continue? Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on this developing story. In a world where the news cycle moves at lightning speed, sometimes we have to stop and ask if we are becoming too comfortable with violence in our political discourse. What do you think about the security protocols during such high-profile events? Let us know in the comments below. Picture this: you are at the White House Correspondents Dinner, surrounded by the elite, when suddenly the room erupts into absolute chaos. Gunshots ring out, Secret Service agents are swarming, and the President of the United States is being whisked away to safety. For most of the 2,000 people in that ballroom, it was a moment of pure, heart-pounding terror. But for Dana White, well, he's just built different. While everyone else was scrambling for cover, the UFC boss was essentially watching a live-action thriller unfold from the front row. It's rare to find someone who responds to an active shooter situation with, of all things, curiosity. White was there to promote UFC Freedom 250, scheduled for the White House later this year, but he ended up with a story that puts even the most intense cage match to shame. As the chaos spiraled and agents screamed for people to hit the floor, White stood tall. He actually told reporters afterward that he didn't duck, saying, "It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it in." It's that exact brand of adrenaline junkie fearlessness that made him the face of the biggest combat sports promotion on the planet. He wasn't looking for the exit. He was watching the tactical teams move in, wondering if the threat was right next to his table. Thankfully, the wounded Secret Service agent is expected to recover, and the president and his staff were evacuated safely. But the image of Dana White calmly observing a security crisis while the rest of the world dove under their tables is something right out of a movie. It begs the question, are you the type to hide when the pressure hits, or would you stand your ground like the UFC boss? Let me know your take in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates on this developing story. Stay safe, stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next one. Imagine sitting down for a high-profile dinner, expecting nothing more than small talk and speeches, when suddenly, the room erupts into pure, unadulterated chaos. That is exactly what happened at the White House Correspondents Dinner at the Washington Hilton, where a normal evening turned into a real-life action movie scene. Tactical teams swarmed the ballroom, weapons drawn, as dignitaries scrambled for cover and chairs went flying. But amidst the sheer terror, one man was watching the whole thing unfold with a grin, none other than UFC boss Dana White. In a reaction that is honestly quintessential Dana, he didn't dive under a table. Instead, he stood his ground, soaking in the adrenaline of the moment. He later told reporters that it was, and I quote, "fucking awesome." He described the surreal experience of seeing guys storm the room with guns and hearing the frantic commands to get down, yet he just couldn't help but marvel at the intensity of it all. Thankfully, in a massive stroke of luck, no one was hurt, and the lone shooter was apprehended before things could turn tragic. It is wild to think that while this was shaking the foundation of Washington, D.C., the UFC was hosting a fight night all the way in Vegas. Dana White lives for the scrap, but even for him, this might be the craziest story he has ever told. What do you think? Would you be frozen in fear, or would you, like Dana, be fascinated by the chaos? Drop a comment below and let me know your take. At the end of the day, sometimes life is stranger than any fight card ever staged.